In the Gold Prayer Book, please turn to page 27. 27. And we'll chant the 7 limb prayer. 27 in the Gold Prayer Book. Gosum gu pe gone chatselo nge shami tu cheti malubu to mene sadi tuntam che shag ke pa nam la jeirang korwa maton bardule june tola cheki kolo korwa dang da jengena janchu page 97. And at the bottom of the page is the short mandala offering, so we'll chant that. Saji perki jushin meto Lama Tangpa kenam kichu kukala kense jujintri jitar tsampe duje zima laja gecherki charpa waptusa idam guru ratamadalakam niryatayami Chudan soki chonam la janchu padu dani kapsuchi dagi chunyengi pesenam gi dola penchu sangye tu parsho Chudan soki chonam la janchu padu dani kapsuchi dagi chunyengi pesenam gi dola penchu sangye tu parsho Chudan soki chonam la janchu badu dani kapsuchi dagi chunyengi pesenam gi dola penchu sangye tu pasho.
please go ahead.
My question is, after we collect merit, how do we make sure that we don't destroy it? And how do we keep it? How do we take that merit and, I guess, dedicate it properly so we don't lose what we have tried to gain?
Very good question, very good question. Maybe put into storage. In America, you have many storage. Put into storage. That's just joking. So yeah, dedicate, dedicate. So if you remember some word, from the dedication, that you say that word, and at the same time think about the meaning of the word. Samula, what is this two words? Jambepa, you remember? So maybe talk to Samula. There's two stanzas. So the meaning of the first stanza is like, I will dedicate my merit likewise Bodhisattva Samadha Bhattras. That's the meaning of first stanza. The second stanza, I will dedicate my merit likewise past Buddha, present Buddha, future Buddha, the way they dedicate. So that's the meaning, So if you don't remember the word, so just think like that.
It's on page 235. Japa Pawajita Kempadang Kunduza Bodeyande Jinte. Yeah, verse number 3, page 235, general dedication prayers.
That these two stanzas, why so important? Why so important? Even though there's many dedication verses, there's many dedication verses, but these two stanzas is like summarize all the dedications, contained into these two stanzas. If you said these two stanzas, then it's the equivalent of saying all the dedications that's been written by, like the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So that's why, there's one text composed by Lama Tsongkhapa called Gompa Rapsal, means clear explanation, something like the clear explanation, that title of the text. So if you read this text in the very beginning, so this text is commentary on the entry into the middle way composed by Nagarjuna, or like not Nagarjuna, entry into middle way, Chandakriti, Chandakriti, that's the root text of, root text. Root text, that explain the emptiness, emptiness. So the Gompa Rapsal, that's composed by Lama Tsongkhapa probably more than 650 years ago. So that's the commenting on this text, So if you read the beginning of the text, not in the very beginning, but if you read a little while, so then you see the Lama Tsongkhapa said these two stanzas in that text. Lama Tsongkhapa said these two stanzas is how the summary of all the summary, is summary of all the dedications, in that text, you see Lama Tsongkhapa said that. So therefore, even though like there's probably many dedication prayers, but you read these two, so that otherwise, then it makes harder to destroy it when you get angry. Otherwise, like when you get angry, so then there's risk that merit might get destroyed. So then, therefore, you dedicate, you dedicate the merit for greater cause. Otherwise, you created the merit. So of course, merit, result will be happiness, and happiness related to the physical things, related to the mental things, physical things. Then all the basic necessities, all then environment. Let's call environment. Result of collective karma, call it dangde. When you look at the karma Namigite was like it's called ripening result. That's like pretty much, like the life that we have, called ripening result. Judicate, then the result similar to the cause, protecting somebody's life. It's like direct impact on your lifespan, direct impact on lifespan. Then in case if this life there's some dangers comes, then somebody will protect you. There's a direct cause for that. And not just that. That's like of course like experiencing result similar to the cause. The cause is protecting, either protecting or saving somebody's life. That's the cause. The similar that you experience, similar you experience longer life. There's no another result. Then not just that. There's two different types of result. Also, another result that you continuously save life after life. There's something that you did before, then you continue to do that. So then, like vice versa for negative karma, vice versa. So then dark day. So the last result, there's three types of result. Then the dark day is like the result of collective karma, such as environment, having rain on timely rain, and all this environment. There's common result of common karma created. Result, say like Kadampa center is the result of our collective karma. That's called dark day. So therefore, like it's good to dedicate. Otherwise, that the merit may, so when you go around the lake, sometimes people, what do you call that? Where you put babies? Strollers. People bring strollers. Then you look, there's dog inside. It's not baby. So you are born as a dog, but you have been treated like human. There's something went wrong. There's something went wrong. Maybe like didn't probably create the cause, but didn't dedicate it. And like so Naga. So probably I'm not sure how many American people believe in Naga. So there's and has so much wealth, but that probably like something is missing. The result of all the merit ripen into some kind of possession, but not as that you don't enjoy it as a human, but you basically become like the Naga is part of animal realms, so animals. So. And like sometimes, when people die, they leave all their money to the dog. So then the dog have no idea even about money. So there's something went wrong. So therefore, dedicating your merit is very important. So, for the sake of for sake of protections of your merit, and dedicated for greater cause, for liberations, enlightenment. So then you will have access to that merit till you will be liberated. No matter how many lifetimes you go through, you have access to that merit till you be liberated or enlightened. So that's why always good to dedicate for the greater cause. So then like there's another way to like protect your merit is when you dedicate, then you dedicate the merit with some kind of knowledge of emptiness. Like so then that that kind of like. Pretty much like insurance for merit. So, but so that's why they say like. Otherwise, if you don't think, I myself doesn't exist for his own side, the merit doesn't exist for his own side. If you don't think it, then it's just like reading newspaper. Not much. If you think, I myself didn't know. So Lama Zoba write it down. How did it? That's called. Like seal, how do you say? Sealing. Yeah, sealing the merit with knowledge of emptiness. Then that merit is 100% protected. Even though you don't get angry, that merit doesn't get destroyed. So that's something you can do, okay? Yeah, very good. Oh, yeah. Any other questions? Yeah, okay, so then we continue. So say Jor, beginning. The three things very important. Beginning, motivations. Then that's actual, that's the practice, whatever practice you do, like any positive things you do. Any positive things you do, that's considered as a practice. Practice doesn't mean you have to read something, If you just, even just sitting there doing nothing, thinking something positive, that's also practice too. You don't need to just open some books and read, no. Yeah, as I said, you can read, but if your mind is somewhere else, then that doesn't mean anything. So you can just sit down, enjoy your coffee and think something positive. That's practice. That's practice. Any practice you do, that's actual things. Motivation, then practice, then dedications. Then you dedicate merit. Okay. So, called Jongi Juksun. These three important. These are three things very important. Jor, preliminary motivations. Mu, actual. That's practice. Juk, and end. So that's dedication. That's how the present. Yeah. So now, so last Wednesday, I think Wednesday before that, I explained how to do meditation on meditation on bodhicitta, or you could say six cause and one result. The instructions. 6 cause and 1 result. The instructions coming from Shakyamuni Buddha to Maitreya Buddha to probably Asanga, so then to Lama Atisha, then Lama Tsongkhapa, all the Kadampa masters. So that I will explain. I explained that. First one is like the connection between you and other living beings. Connection between you and other living beings. Not just connections, deep connections, deeply rooted in loving kindness and compassion. So that's the kind of connections that you need to understand or think about in order to develop bodhicitta. So without that, bodhicitta will not be generated. That's the first cause, Mashya. So then recall the kindness. Kindness. Then I briefly explained that how much the mother sacrificed for our survival. Survival. That when we are born, like baby, even don't know how to say even just one simple word. Hungry. So cannot say. So then everything's that not able to chase the fly that landed on your face, very innocent, and very innocent, also like very vulnerable. So then physically how much the mother sacrificed, mentally how much mother sacrificed, so all of that you need to remember. That's the kind of kindness that you receive from every breathing living beings. See? Every breathing living beings. So as I said, when you think about the birth, there's 4 different types of birth. Miracle birth, birth from heat, birth from womb, birth from eggs. So it's hard to imagine that every birth before life before this is like miracle birth. That's hard to believe. So that's been so then the question that you ask yourself, is this the beginning of my life? It just happened for is this the first time that you become breathing living being? Oh, so that's the kind of question. Then from there, then you try to figure it out. The point is to understand the deep connection between every living being. So how much they sacrifice for your well-being. So they recall the kindness, how much they sacrifice. So then repay the kindness. So that when you look around, yourself and everybody else, the life is greatly influenced by all kind of complications. So there you have like a moral responsibility to help all these breathing living beings who sacrifice so much for your well-being, or many lifetimes. So then you repair kindness, whatever ways you can repair kindness, teaching them Dharma, teaching or guiding them, like whatever ways you can help them. This is repair the kindness. The best way to repair the kindness is to liberate them for good from all the complications. Help them to reach enlightenment. The best way to do. Master Tinti Tiso, then you want Chamba. So they're seeing them as like very attractive. You want Chamba. It's not just love, like very like say you want Chamba. Yi mind. Wong means something that's as attractive, very attractive. To see very attractive, through pure love, you want some. Then great compassion. So then there's a for course number 4 or 5. Number 5, there's a course number 5. That's how you go through. That's how you meditate. Or maybe you can just laying down the couch and drinking coffee and in mind you are thinking, even though you are not sitting like this. That's meditation. That's very productive meditation you are doing, just thinking. People walk by, then you're thinking about their well-being. So that's very good meditation. That's meditation on bodhicitta. So then the last course is like the compassion, but it's like extraordinary compassions. So like, I myself will liberate all of them. I'm not going to wait for Lamula to what Lamula is going to do. It's not like that. I will do by myself. Take full responsibility too. It's all done mentally. That doesn't mean you have to go to talk to every person in the room. It doesn't mean like that. But in the mind, it's something that you have, and there's no limitations. That mind could grow tremendously, grow. The physical body is very limited, but it's all done in the mind. And your perception about the whole world change from impure to pure. Your whole perception of the world, people, living beings change, change, and like respecting them, their life, all of that. Okay, then I myself, fortunately now, so learning how to develop bodhicitta, how to generate bodhicitta. So I myself will take full responsibility to liberate all of them. Then every practice that I do, I dedicate it for them, their well-being. So then your life will rise and shine. Rise and shine. That's how what it means, rise and shine. So long time ago, the first year when I came to Kadampa Center, so went to Kalachara initiation in Indiana. His always given colleges. So then I don't know who to, maybe more likely Stephanie. And that time I stayed with Dr. Brown and Herb in one hotel. Then Stephanie told me, tell Dr. Brown, rise and shine. I have no idea what that really means. So I said, tell, there's tomorrow morning, they'll tell rise and shine. So then, life, then you feel, your life has meaning, then you feel like your life is meaning. Every breathing you take has meaning. Then you feel purpose of your existence, then you feel your life has like meaning, meaning. Life has meaning, Yeah, life has meaning, life has meaning. So then you slowly understand precious, difficult to find, meaningful, then you understand meaningful. So-called Haksam Ninja, extraordinary compassions. Extraordinary compassions means taking fully responsibility for yourself. not to just wait around someone else to do that. Oh. So then there's the sixth cause. Then the last one is then bodhicitta, bodhicitta. Then you generate bodhicitta, okay? So then you become bodhisattva, Even though you are a lay person, you become bodhisattva. Then you are called as a child of Victor One, Victor One, Javese. Then eating, drinking, everything, the sleeping, everything, tunes to merit, everything. Sleeping also just tunes to merit. Oh. So that's the first instructions. Okay, 6 causes and 1 result. How to meditate on bodhicitta, or instructions of how to develop bodhicitta. Oh, that's exactly how you meditate on bodhicitta. Meditate on bodhicitta. That's exactly how you introduce to someone about bodhicitta. Bodhicitta. So, so then, if that person has merit or enthusiasm to develop bodhicitta, so that you give to that person right instructions. Right instructions. Okay. This year. So now, then second. So then commentary. So then I will read a little bit of Ta junje menga dunji tambosu ninji chimbu shidobai junje menga dun. Out of these 6 causes, first 3 cause, understanding there is a deep connection between me and other breathing living beings. So that's the first one. So then recalling the kindness, then repaying the kindness. This is the first 3 causes. So these first 3 causes, what you are meditating on those first 3 causes, what are you trying to accomplish? You're trying to accomplish karuna, great compassion. So you're trying to create the base of great compassion. That's what you're trying to do. Understanding deeper connection between you and other living beings, recalling their kindness, repaying their kindness, is creating the base for karuna, ninjishampo, great compassion, universal compassion. So the Lama said here. Yungo chambani tesumji debu wecha. So then seeing all of them is like something very attractive. So that's the result of first 3 causes. Even though itself is a cause for bodhicitta, but within the cause, these are the kind of result of first 3 causes. So meditation-wise, there's not something extra to think about. It's pretty much covered. Thinking about the connection between you and other, and recalling their kindness, repaying their kindness, pretty much. So that's when you move to the 4th cause, there's something special to think about. So it just happens because of the result of 3 causes. So, and itself doesn't have particular visualization. So it doesn't have like that. Migbo loso chungzu meja ti so simje tamje dewa dendeji chamba gomgyo so. So chamba dewa dende chamba. So you just focus on meditate on loving kindness. That's what you do. And when you reach the number 4, and you meditate on loving kindness. That's what you do. Loving kindness. So like, may all sentient beings have happiness, cause of happiness. That is loving kindness. Out of 4 immeasurable, the first one is loving kindness. May all sentient beings have happiness and cause of happiness. What is the cause of happiness? Positive, doing positive things. That's the cause of happiness, positive things. Oh. So just you meditate on that. When you reach to the course number 4, then you meditate on loving kindness, okay? Loving kindness. So, Chamba Gonguji. Then Chamba Tela Ninja Hasosum Shinditinjilo Chambaje. So then the loving kindness, so then, after that, then great compassions. So then after that, there's extraordinary compassions, extraordinary compassions. These are the what is called Shinde Tunigi laws. These are the mind, these 3 types of mind. Your mind is not somewhere there. It's our mind, these 3 types of mind. So that is the mind that directly benefit other living beings. So Shinde Tunigi laws. The same community there was that. Then actually bodhicitta is the result of those 6 causes. Tā lāmi jibu chungdi ji lamni simji o jibu chungdi chungu dingi lamni simji ngundos. So in the lamrim, the way the lamri divided as small scope, middle scope, great scope, that's lamrim, how lamrim divided, teaching. It has around probably 500 pages, So this whole entire lamrim is stages of the path, divided based on 3 categories, called small scope, middle scope, great scope. Then sometimes you hear like PowerPoint presentations of Buddhism, 3, 7, 4, 5, 6, there are many numbers, When you hear 3 vehicles, that's different. Small vehicle, middle vehicle, great vehicle. This is different than a little bit different here. So this here in the lamrim is whole goal is to help you to, right from the beginning of the lamrim teaching is the part of the process to reach enlightenment. It's not like so there's also important maybe for the second knowledge. Chanju sim jove kapso simje nini da minju so ji ngo cheba no sheba che lo jangu so chanju sim rumur din je so la nyingbo. So bodhicitta is the essence of all the Buddha's teaching, bodhicitta. What Shantideva said, not here, what Shantideva said in regard to Buddha's way of life, Tewe chonga kunsewe. So now all the explanations given, probably chapter number 1, I think chapter number 1, all the explanations are given about bodhicitta. So therefore, then Shantideva kind of sums it up. Sums it up. So, Tewe chonga kunsewe cho, sadness, depression. Low self-esteem, sadness, depression, all of that. Cho. Now, difficulties, physical difficulty, mental difficulty, all kinds of complicated difficulties. Chonga kun all, self means eliminate. Tewe chonga kunsewe, something that eliminates sadness, depression, low self-esteem, all the difficulties. What is that? That's bodhicitta. Tewe chonga kunsewe, chanju sim di tashunes. Chanju sim, bodhicitta is like a horse. And you ride that horse, then that horse will bring you to happiness. Then if somebody possesses a mind, how come they get discouraged to develop this? Develop bodhicitta or ride that horse. That horse will bring you happiness. So that's Shantideva said, I think chapter number 1. It's not here, but it's chapter number 2. So therefore, so this is the essence of entire Buddhist teaching, okay? This precious mind, this precious powerful mind is the essence of all the Buddha's teachings. Geshe Chanju Tamji Tudamji Tilchibu in this. This is the core practice of all the bodhisattvas. Bodhicitta is the core practice of all the bodhisattvas. Geshe Chanju Tamji Tudamji Tilchibu in this. Junjules. Tamju Marjungu Juma Shinjo, Tamju Mosubulu Marjungu Juma Shin. So Shanti in the Guide of Buddhist Life, probably chapter number 1. So don't remember by this stanza by heart, but you know it's all listed here. Don't remember by heart. Tamche, Dharma, Buddha Dharma. Buddha Dharma is called Tamche, or called like holy teachings, holy Dharma. Oma is like milk. It is like milk. It's like milk. If you, I'm not sure, like, yeah, in the nomad family, what they do, they make like some kind of container out of animal skin, so that's where they put the milk. So then, you know, that's how they make butter. So they, first they boil, then let it cool down, so then put it there, so then probably many hours, they just shake that back and forth, then slowly you get butter. That's how the butter has been made. Oh, so then holy Dharma is like milk, so then you shake that milk again, then the result what you get butter, so that's bodhicitta. Barjingu chuan she, and Kautama Tubanamji, the new pemba, the Semje Tejo, Lamji Shevan, Tedashan, and Jazepon. So then the Lama's quoting the Song of Experience, Lamrim, the Song of Experience, composed by Lama Tsongkhapa, so he's also quoting this text too. He's quoting this text. So the Lama Tsongkhapa's core practice is bodhicitta, so nothing else. The Lama says, if you want to become Mahayana practitioners, then you take bodhicitta as your core practice. Core practice. So nowadays, if you ask somebody, the Lama says, nowadays, if you ask someone, so now this commentary is written by Phobonga Rinpoche. He was alive he was in Tibet in 1951, 52, 53. He was there. The Phobonga Rinpoche was there, you know. So then he passed away in Tibet. So he's the one who wrote these commentaries on the Three Principles of Extra Path of Enlightenment. One of the great Lamrim Lama, great Tibetan Lamrim Lama, you know, Phobonga Rinpoche. And he wrote these commentaries. So I don't remember when he passed away. So then after that, he was reincarnated. So that reincarnated right after the Geshe ceremony, he passed away. So now there's another reincarnation. Now he's like probably early 30 or mid 30. So he's the one who wrote this commentary. Okay? So then he said, if you ask someone what is your core practice, and people will say, oh, like they pointed to some kind of deity yoga, you know, deity yoga practice. Deity yoga? Yeah. Deer yoga. So like some kind of, you know, like tantra practice, some kind of tantra practice. They say, oh, I do this kind of tantra, but this, and then he's hinting, why he's saying indirectly, you don't hear. Somebody say, oh, my core practice is bodhicitta, you don't hear that. You don't hear that. So that's kind of like, you know, kind of like sad. And just forget about people will respond, say, oh, bodhicitta, my core practice, just forget about that. So even they don't know what bodhicitta is. That's Lama saying, you know. So There's very few people knows that bodhicitta is something that needs to be practiced, you know. So there's very few people knows. Oh. Then Samadhyuva, there's like the Gya Samaja Tantra, you know, Gya Samaja Tantra and Yamentaka Tantra, or Hiruka Chakra Sambhava Tantra. These three tantras are widely practiced in the Geluk traditions, in the Tantra college. You know, that's what you do when you go to 1 year course in Tantra college. They, you know, so they have a lot of like ritual performance or practice based on these three tantras. You know, they rotate every year. 1 year Yamentaka Tantra, then second year like Gya Samaja Tantra, then you know, then third, then 1 year, then Hiruka Chakra Sambhava. So, when you become Geshe, so then after that you go to Tantra college for 1 year Tantra course. So if you like, if you fall into the routine of Gya Samaja Tantras, so that means every single prayer gathering will last long time. Why? Because there's 32 deities in the Gya Samaja Tantra. And there's 62 deities in the Hiruka Chakra Sambhava Tantras. The Yamentaka, there's only 13. So I was fall into Yamentaka. So end up sitting less. Otherwise, you end up sitting there like all day long, hours, like start like 2 o'clock in the morning, goes all the way to 6 o'clock in the evening, and you get for lunch break only 5 minutes or 10 minutes you get, then you have to rush. So then, you know, like it's hard, so you just sit there and everything's been said. It's like very, like you can't hear the word. You're not supposed to hear the word, you know, so the word has to be secret. And all the monks, the Jume monks, you know, that's what they do. When you enter into right from the beginning, if you go to Sera monastery, then your aim is to become Geshe, so studying these 5 major texts. And while you are doing that, there's not much time to memorize Gya Samaja Tantra, Chakra Sambhava, Hiruka Tantra. You don't have time to memorize. So then after that, you go there, maybe 1 month break, then you go there. So then all these Tantra texts have been, root Tantra texts have been recited, and you have no clue. Then you know, go, you hear anything what I say? So then you have no idea when it's going to finish. In the monastery, you know, you have some clue when it's going to end. So certain text, then when they recite, then now it's the indication it's going to end soon. Like, you know, there, so you have no clue in the first 2-3 months. No, what to look for clue, there's no clue. So, then you don't hear anything. Then what you do, then probably you recite some mantra, you know, maybe think about some text, do some review meditations, and after a few hours it's finished now. Or your meditation is done. So what you do, then you fall into sleep. So I fall into my course. When I went there, they are doing like Yamentaka Tantra. It's much shorter. Even then, I thought like, oh, I'm going to die. A couple of times I thought I'm going to die. You know, so I thought I'm not going to make it. You know, so there's long hours of sitting. So there's very strict rules. Then I thought I'm kind of tough. So one of my friends, I thought he's probably not going to make it. He's doing fine. So I said, you have to tell hard as you can say. So anyway, somehow it over. You know, I finished that. So then after 6, then you come, the practice is done, then you go to class for the Tantra teachings, probably 7 to 9. Then you go to bed, same. You wake up early morning. You know. It says it's purified physical negative karma by just sitting there. So then when I'm kind of like becoming restless, even though I become Geshe, look at the abbot, probably like early 70 years old, probably 70 or late 60s, sitting there, even not moving at all. There's no air conditions. It's hot. That person is not even just moving like this. And here, all our young Geshes now become rested after like a few hours, like pain here, pain there. So that kind of motivates you when you look at him. He even won't move at all, sitting there. So that kind of motivates you. Then you sit again. Then after 1 hour, 2 hours, oh yeah. Anyway, so sorry. So that took big chunk of time from your class. So why I'm saying this? I'm saying this. One of the Kadampa masters probably said, if we don't understand impermanent, that's the, even though you possess all kinds of qualities, many qualities, but you are under the influence of one fault. You're under the one fault. That's like, thinking that I'm going to be here forever. That's like I say, what's called fault, F-A-U-L-T, fault. That's the fault. You are under this one fault that's quite huge, even though you put all these kind of qualities. If you don't understand that, and practicing Gya Samaja Tantra, Yamentaga Tantra, Chakra Sambhava Tantra means nothing. See? So then the Kadampa master is worrying that we end up touching all this highly level practice, touching there and spend all this time, and meanwhile you're under the influence of one big fault, thinking that you are going to be here forever, so then day pass like that, so then you don't do anything, and you don't know how to prioritize in day-to-day life, so then one day it will shock you, then it's too late. So the dona chiwa midawa rangi jula mijena, rangi jula mijena. If you don't understand the impermanent, then Gya Samaja Tantra itself is profound teaching, but for you it's not profound. For you it's not profound. So refuge in Bodhisattva prayer, that might become so profound for you if you understand impermanent. If you understand impermanent and just that refuge in Bodhisattva prayer, this 4 line, that may become very, very useful practice. If you don't understand, if you understand impermanent. If you don't understand impermanent, if you are practicing all this highly level of practice, it means nothing. Dona chiwa midaba rangi jula mijena, san duba misade chamdrisu sa tena chamdrisu saba is that the refuge in Buddhism prayer, this 4 line, it becomes much profound if you understand the impermanent. So then as I mentioned last Sunday, problem that's caused by hat that you're wearing, it's too tight, too big. You are irritated by the hat. It's very make you uncomfortable, but you keep changing your short. It's not going to help. You keep changing shirt, that's not going to help. That's problems caused by hat. Uncomfortable caused by hat, need to remember. So what that means? Impermanent. So now the bodhicitta, that's very important to practice. Okay. Ranja teba chimbo bashi tenjo, jo kala chi china, jame kwe yasa to kamsa kashi tingsa sang tingsa, kashi tudam still te sangdang says James, Then the Lama says some people their core practice is to burn the incense offering. That's their core practice. So now when you look around, like particularly in Asia, Taiwan, Singapore, Japan, Korea, when you go to the monastery, they light so many incense, lay people. So for them it's practice like that. So it's this not really Buddha's teaching. So Sangdang says Jim, so then tea offerings, tea offering with some bells and tea offering like that. Ani kanjun nabu shiva jiva songs, kanjun nabu shiva jiva songs. That's the text that when you read that text, supposed to help to win the trial. When you have trial case, trial, so there's particular text that designed to it to win that kind of like case or trial. So some people say, oh, that's my core practice, and people don't understand. So then some kind of text they read. So then overcome from criticism from other people. There are many texts that have been written to help you to overcome, and people they just focus on those things. So they tell us, idam ji tildu chesewa teyang garabi insa. Compared to those practices, if somebody says, I'm practicing Gya Samaja Tantra, Yametaka Tantra, relatively is better than reciting all these things to just to have this life. This life, is not even the ant or bugs, bird, squirrel, they also know how to check this life. It's not something very special. Then so now this Lama is not going to read all of them. So I pressure on. What happened to another instructions? So now the second instruction, this pretty much finished the first instructions. 6 causes 1 result. So now second one is the exchanging oneself with other. How you say oneself? Yeah, exchanging self with others. So that's the second instructions, how to develop bodhicitta. So for the sake of knowledge. Da, yourself, she, other, nyam, equal. I've been saying this last Sunday, few Sundays, that everybody needs to clearly understood. We are all, you can say, in the same boat or equal. You looking for happiness every single second. That's the reality, that's the fact. And you are trying to avoid slightest difficulties every single second. You are doing that, they are doing the same. On that base is same. You don't have extra reason to be happy. Same. Not seeing that, it's hard to believe that human killing human. So that, how that happens, human killing human. If animal kills human, so maybe, but they have no, this sophisticated brain, they can't think. So that, we could call accident or maybe, but human killing human, that's like, in the first place, it's hard to imagine, hard to get your head around how, why one human killing another human. What is lacking, that's lacking. Everybody's looking for happiness every single second. It needs to understood very clearly. So, dak, she, the second instruction, dak, you, she, other, nyam, equal. Then based on that, then exchange yourself. How you be treated like, how you want to be treated, you want to be treated like, you want to be treated well, and you like to receive respect, you like to, you want people to see that you are something important. When somebody looks down on you, what happens? In reality, it doesn't matter. If somebody says something nice, you are no good. If you have 1 kilo, if you say, just say, if you have 1 kilo, 1 pound. If somebody says, oh, you have 2 pounds, you are not going to have 2 pounds, you only have 1 pound. If somebody says, okay, you don't have 1 pound, doesn't mean you are not going to have 1 pound. Whatever pound that you have, it means your reality is not going to change based on what people say. Not going to change. But we think it will change what people say, but that's not truth. Oh, that's not just exchanging oneself with others. Dunga tamutsame meditations. Dela name dunga tamutsame lamrim part in Guru Puja. Dunga tamutsame meditation. Even the slightest, how you say, even the slightest, I've been saying slightly, even the slightest difficulties, I don't want. That's the fact. Nothing to do with the Buddhism. That's the fact. Dela namya choshe member is not being content by happiness. Not content by happiness. You want much as you can. Dunga tamutsame dela namya choshe member. Dada shela cheba yemeshes. There's no difference between you and others. Oh, when it's come down on that. Please, then you're kind of begging to your, if you consider Buddha as your teacher, Lama Tsongpa as your teacher, then you are begging them to bless my heart to able to do that. Bless my heart to bless my heart to able to see happiness of other people is very important, very important. What else? Rani Chenzu, I'm quoting from the Lamrim part in Guru Puja. Rani Chenzu Guba Kunchiko. Like self-centered mind. I usually call unreasonable self-centered mind. Rani Chenzu Guba Kunchiko. That mind is the draw to all the problems. Rani Chenzu Guba Kunchiko. Like attitude, my way, highway, that kind of attitude and thinking, Yeah, if you think that my happiness is the most important thing on this planet, number one, you are just one. Other, they're limitless. So you have to deal with them. And how it will work if you have this kind of mindset, oh, my happiness is most important than any other happiness, then without other you can't survive. Number one, you are just one. Other, there's too many. And you have this kind of idea, oh, my happiness is the most important than anybody else's happiness. How you are going to survive peacefully. Just think about that. How you are going to survive peacefully. Impossible. And nothing to do with Buddhism. No, it's the fact. That's the fact. If you start to cherish others, so that's the door to all the qualities. All the qualities. Or you can other way you can say like cherishing others is a door to all the happiness. That's exactly in the group. Therefore, may I able to practice this, exchanging oneself with others, exchanging oneself with others. Yoga of exchanging oneself with others. May I able to practice this, successfully. Bless me to able to practice this successfully. Why? Because this is the door to all the happiness. So see, somebody who are nice, kind-hearted, nice, loving, they have more friends. People who are all like kind of mean and like cool-hearted. How is it cool? Cool-hearted. Who wants to be around? Nobody wants to be around. Everyone is trying to avoid. Some case there's no option. There's only one line. You go there, so that person is always unhappy. If you have a choice, you choose another line, even though the line is much longer. You don't mind to sit there, to go to that person. It's always positive, like charming, and kind of happy. So, so the Nyamle Nyingbo's core practice, exchanging oneself with others, bless me to able to do this yoga or practice successfully. Please bless me to do this yoga or practice of exchanging oneself with others successfully. So then you are kind of begging for that, requesting a blessing for that. Oh, then like yeah. So so that's the second instruction. The second instruction, exchanging oneself with others. Oh yeah. When you practice, when you explain them separately because there's two different lineage. 7 causes 1 result. There's lineage. Then there's exchanging oneself with others. There's two different lineage. You have to make sure that you explain that separately. When you practice, and you can practice, you can alternate. One day you can meditate on the 6 causes 1 result. Then the other time you can meditate on exchanging oneself with others. But the second instruction has been very much hidden. This been practiced very secretly many years. Then one Lama, I don't remember the name, so then thought, it will be great loss if you don't write it down. So then the Lama write it down. So now, therefore now, could be like fourth Panchen Lama, but I am not 100% sure. Fourth Panchen Lama, I'm not sure. So that practice is much more difficult. So when you practice the second instructions, then you are like, that's like equivalent of practicing both instructions. But when you can practice, go back and forth. But when you explain, you need to explain them separately. Make sure that people understand there's two separate lineage. So that's very important. When you explain separately. But when you practice, then you can practice that. Oh yeah. That's probably the second instructions, kind of like said. So now the emptiness part. So the beginning it talks about renunciations. So just brief review. Renunciation doesn't mean to run away from society or go to somewhere in the mountain, Himalaya mountain, live there. You could physically live there, but mentally very deeply involved. So so then it doesn't matter. When we started renunciation, there's a couple of things, important things to understand. So that's what I more emphasize on that. The word renouncing is like, or don't drink coffee now, renunciations. That's like, you don't understand renunciations. Or don't listen to music, or that's not renunciation. Then why you make sound offerings, or music offerings. When you make offerings like Argampa, Shabda, why you make Shabda offerings? So it doesn't make sense. So renunciation, need to understand first and foremost, most important things, impermanent. You can stop drinking, listening music, or singing song, playing guitar. If you don't understand impermanent, there is no renunciation. That's just extra suffering you cause for yourself. So what needs to be understood when you study renunciations, whenever you teach, should emphasize on that there's few knowledge, few things that need to understood very clearly. Renunciation. So precious human life, the life is so precious, that needs to be understood. That's the one thing needs to be understood. Precious, meaningful, difficult to find. Without that, running here, running there, going on the mountain, that's not renunciation. So then karma, of course, karma, that needs to be understood. Karma needs to be understood. What goes around comes around. That needs to be understood very clearly. Precious human life, meaningful, difficult to find, easy to lose, so that's impermanent. Easy to lose, impermanent. So then top of that karma, what goes around comes around. Those things needs to be understood very clearly. You can stay in Raleigh, you could develop renunciation. You don't need to go anywhere. So these are the things. So that is renunciation. That realization is called renunciation. So with that knowledge, what do you do when you look around? Yeah, you can enjoy good food, you can enjoy the music, but at the same time, right from the beginning, you have to understand. You have to understand, those things does not bring satisfactions. You have to understand that. Change. It will change. It's not about your control. It will change. People change, mind change, everything change. Object of desire change, everything change. Not just that. That does not give you 100% satisfactions. You have to understand that right from the beginning, very clearly. When you buy new leather sofa seat, new leather couch, it doesn't mean you cannot buy. Of course you can buy. Why you cannot buy? You can buy. But need to understand. Need to understand. So that does not guarantee 100% your satisfaction. Need to understand that right from the beginning. Make sure that you didn't get shocked after a couple of months. Everything like that. Everything. All the samsaric goodness associated with these 5 external objects, you can 100% rely your satisfaction, happiness on them. You can. If you do that, then it's going to be big problems. It's going to be big problems, no? So these are the renunciations. That's what renunciation means. Renunciation doesn't mean like go or something. No, that's not. That's the few things that need to be understood very clearly. When you talk about renunciations, these are the things need to be emphasized. These are the things. All this samsaric goodness has fault. What is the fault? You cannot rely your happiness 100% on them, because these things change. So you can rely your happiness 100% on Papa John pizza. So when you go to Nepal, you are not going to get Papa John pizza. The whole country has no Papa John pizza. So that's why. That's just an example. Right from the beginning, make sure that you are aware. You're aware. So then that's okay. You can enjoy. So then, best way to enjoy with deeper knowledge right from the beginning. Make sure it doesn't become shock. Oh, maybe I'm kind of tired of this. Maybe I'll get something new. Maybe I'm tired of this. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of that. Eventually, you get tired of everything. So now you realize, satisfaction does not come from doing things. Doing things doesn't guarantee satisfaction. You have to be aware. Doesn't mean you don't do things. Of course you do things. At the same time, you have to aware. You have to aware, 100% aware that doesn't bring satisfactions. You have to understand that. 100% satisfaction. And what I'm saying is 100% satisfactions. If you are aware, you have less problems. If you are not aware, so that will create a lot of problems. I thought everything going to be changed, everything going to be 100% fine. Now, not. Yeah, you have to understand that right from the beginning. Not, it's too late now. It'll be too late. Everything, satisfaction. So that's what you call renunciation. There's certain those things needs to be understood or needs to be emphasized when you talk about renunciations. Okay, it doesn't mean don't wear nice clothes or don't go out, don't go here. This just people don't understand renunciation. Going here, going there doesn't change much. The knowledge will change. Knowledge, if you are aware, so there is renunciation. So now bodhicitta, I just explained briefly. So now the more important the renunciations. People make sure people don't misunderstand renunciation based on the word. The word. Tibetan is called nginjung. Nginjung. That word doesn't have any. When you hear word nginjung, you don't get any idea to running away from something, or you are abandoning something. It doesn't get any idea. Nginjung means it's like has a urgent. It's kind of urgent to get out of the cycle. That's the meaning that the word carry. Nginjung means if you are not happy, get out. That's the meaning. I'm not sure renunciations. When you hear the word, what it means? No, it means renounce. Usually means like giving up something. So there make sure people don't. What is most important to understand? There's few things I just mentioned. These are more important to understand. Okay, including myself or my friend here. These are important things to understand. So then life will be, according to Lama Atisha, life will become easygoing. Even in samsara, you are free. So these things are important to understand. So now the most difficult. We have a few minutes left, so I'll touch a little bit the emptiness. So then now can you read this one? Maybe here. Hold on 1 second. What the rest of the number now? So it says the number 9 now. It says the number 9 from the root text. Without the wisdom realizing ultimate realities, same as emptiness, the same ultimate reality. You can also call that as instead of emptiness. You can also call that ultimate reality. So even though you have generated renunciation, mind of enlightenment, that's bodhicitta, you cannot cut the root cause of cycling. So therefore, attempt the method to realize dependent arising, called tendel, dependent arising. One of my friends teaching that in New Orleans, and people keep hearing Tibetan arising. Then after that, someone asked question, why is saying so much about Tibetan arising? It's not Tibetan arising. It's dependent arising. Dependent arising. Nilu tobe shara midena nginju chanju semna konje sibe tsawa choba minibe tishi tende tobe tawla bes. Therefore, attempt the method to realize dependent arising. So then part there's subtle dependent arising, the gross dependent arising. Gross dependent arising, things rise based on causes and conditions. Without that, nothing will rise. So cause the condition, property, Gross dependent arising refers to probably law of causality, karma. Then subtle, then there's like this side, if there's that side, this side, it's all dependent, it's all relatives. This side, it's dependent, just relatives. When you go there, then there becomes this side. When you come here, then this becomes this side. So wherever you go, there becomes this side or that side. It's all relative. It's just this side doesn't exist independently. It's just dependent on where you are. So called this. Then like long and short, long and short, or relative, long and short. So if there's no long, there will be no short. If there's no short, there will be no long. It's all dependent. but that's not how we see things. We see absolute tall, absolute short. That's like a mistake. Niludu Veshara Midana Ginju Chanju Noxiviazo to Kaji Kordechona Tamjiji. Junena Lua Medoji. Maybe there's okay within them. Oh, it didn't go on. So I'll probably fast read still though. Kaji Kordechona Tamjiji. So now this is number 10. One who sees the cause and effect of all phenomena. If you want to be precise, and then you say all functioning phenomena, not all phenomena, of both cyclic existence and the state beyond sorrow as forever unbetraying. Niludu Veshara Midana Ginju Chanju Noxiviazo Kordechona Tamjiji Junena Lua Medoji. Seeing the law of causality. So this unbetrayed refers to law of causality. So now the last part is a little bit difficult to understand. And for whom any object trusted in by the grasping mind as completely disappears, has that time entered the path please the Buddha. Maybe there's no kind of question about so that one probably I'll explain a little bit later. Maybe there's and for whom any object trusted in by the grasping mind, that's very subtle things. For whom any object trusted in by the mind grasped by the grasping mind. When the magicians create something out of a piece of stone or piece of wood, create, elephant or some figure like bird, whatever they create out of a piece of stone or piece of wood. That's exactly what it is. So stanza number 10. Sorry. So I read so fast with my broken English. Magicians created piece of stone and piece of wood. They make some kind of figure like bird, peacock, whatever. What do you see? You see peacock. You don't see a piece of stone or piece of wood. You don't see that. You see peacock. What the magician see, magician also see peacock. That's exactly what magician also see, peacock. What's the difference between you and magicians? Magician don't believe what he see or what she see or what he see. Don't believe because he knows there's hallucinations. He knows there's hallucinations. That peacock is hallucinations. There's a difference. You believe what you see. Magician don't believe what they or what he or she see. They don't believe. So that peacock, roughly explanation, that peacock is, and for whom any object, there's the object trusted in by the grasping mind. Your grasping mind that trusted that object is peacock, even though it's not peacock, it's a piece of wood. That's what it is. So,
It's on page 144 in the Gold Prayer Book, if you want. Stanza number 10.
Maybe there's no kind of 10 times of love shoes. Maybe there's no kind of 10 times of love shoes. the minute you start to see that peacock as illusions, oh, so then you probably, this is just example, that's not the truth, that's just example. So then you saw the truth, truth, what is not, that's a piece of wood and a piece of stone, that's what it is, it's not peacock. But your mind grasping as a peacock and you believe there's a peacock, but actually it's not peacock, it's like you are hallucinated. It's like, how you say, illusion, it's illusions, it's magic, it's illusions. So maybe there's so now here, so no, just for the sake of knowledge, that's just example, and so say, you are reading the text, root text, and for whom any object, anything, self, hand, head, everything, any object, trusted in the mind, trusted in by the grasping mind. That refers to independent existence. So how you see things, how you see. Are you seeing that, oh, the chair is there from like the way it appeared as independently. So that is mistake. That's a mistake. That's a mistake. It's just label. It's just called chair. It's just called chair. Label. But that's not the point. The point is, so need to analyze the self. Experience of self, that needs to be analyzed. It's not much focus on, what's prayer, is this prayer, this not, it won't cut the root of samsara, it won't cut. The problem is here, the mind that is grasping so tightly on self, need to analyze your experience, or like Geshe Gelek, somebody called Geshe La. What is your experience? What is your experience? If somebody shouted at you, what is your experience? Experience change. Somebody says something nice, you still have this like notion of self, oh, Geshe Gelek. If somebody shouted, screamed at you, then there's experience change. Self-grasping mind, that mind that grasping on self so tightly, there's fundamental confusion, so that what is self, so that's needs to be understood. How you say, 4-point analysis. When you meditate on emptiness, 4-point analysis. Does that ring any bell? First is like identifying the object of negations. What needs to be negate, object of negations. So you ask me, oh, Geshe La, where we are going to meet? I say, okay, we are going to meet in the room where there's no elephant. We are going to meet in the room where there's no elephant. Or maybe a room there's absence of elephant. If you have no idea of elephant, you may be sitting in the room with there's few elephants sitting there. And you are sitting there very comfortably, not knowing what elephants are. So actually you are sitting in the room that has elephant. See? You are not going to understand, probably you hear the word absence of room of elephant. What it really means, it means nothing, you have no idea. Next time somebody points, oh, this is called elephant. See, huge and there's tusk and what is called nose. Then somebody introduces you, oh, this is elephant. So now you know, oh, this is elephant. Next time somebody, we are going to see you at the room, absence of elephant, now you have some clue. Now you look rooms, you go to the exact room where there's no elephant, because you know what elephant. Other than that, like that's like exactly like the self. the problems, why so important? Why so important to identifying the object of negation? Why so important? Otherwise, your object of negation becomes too broad, then you fall into nihilism. You say, oh, nothing exists. That's nihilism. There's one extreme view that you fall into, that's nihilism. Emptiness is called middle way. It's called middle way. It's free of two extreme view, middle way. So then you fall into nihilism. You say, oh, nothing exists. Then you fall into nihilism. Then you went very far away from emptiness. You went very far away. Oh. There's a risk that, your object of negation becomes too big, too broad, then you fall into nihilism. Or maybe your object of negation becomes too narrow. Oh, so then I will call what you call like super exaggerated, superimposed. So there's one extreme view. So when you impose called draw means feather. So you know how to say these two extreme view in English? One is called
nihilism, and the other one is absolute, or the superimposed self.
No, superimposed permanent.
Yep, superimposed permanence.
Superimposed permanent. So that actually is like exaggerating. Draw, that's the term in Tibetan. Kundep, that's nihilism. That's nihilism. Subtract something, that's called nihilism. Kundep, draw. That's called, like another one, the way they translate, like superimposed. Huh? Superimposed permanence. I'm not sure. There's superimposed permanence. Eternalism. Yeah, eternalism. Yeah, that's the word. That's another extreme view. So, in Tibetan terms, it's called draw. Draw means feather. Dog means adding feather on something there where there's no feather. For example, arrow. The side there's feather. You add it on. There's no there before. You add it on. That's the term where it comes from. Draw. Draw means adding the feather on something there's no feather before. Exaggerating something is not there. Exaggerating something is not there. No. So that's exactly how we experience self, because it's very much exaggerated. No? We don't say self don't exist. That's nihilism. Generally speaking, people don't say that self don't exist. People pretty much fall into eternalism. Yeah, we pretty much fall into that. We exaggerate self and exaggerate. So as I mentioned before, when you're about to fall out of a cliff, do you say my body is about to fall? We don't say that. We don't say, oh, my mind is about to fall. We don't say that. We say, I'm about to fall. That moment, what do you mean I? Is it your body? What is it? But there's correlationship between self and the body and mind. This correlation is not completely separate, but it's not one, but it's not completely separate. So now, so then Lama Tsongkhapa said in praise to sorry, time is over. So I'll stop maybe next Wednesday, come back next Wednesday. Supposed to stop at 8:20, so you'll probably have to go to work tomorrow. So I have no work, I just sleep all day long. So so you have work to go, okay, yeah. So I will explain emptiness much as possible, so go slowly, okay? So then
turn to page 235 in the Gold Prayer Book. And the one that's the stanzas Geshe was talking about earlier was the 3 and 4 of this. Gewa di nu du dak Lama sangye du june Dowa chi kya malupa Dei sala gerpa shok Janshu sencha rinpoche ma ke panam ke guchi ke wanyampa me paya gone gondu pawa shok Jampe pawa jita kempada kundu zampo de yang de jingte Deda kungi Jesu da loche Gewa di da tanche raptungo Dusun shepe gewa tanche ki Ngowa gala chotu nakpade Geshe gewe tsawa di kunkyang Shampo chuchu raptungo warki Let's see then page 244 and 245 Ganira we korwe shinkam de pendan dewa malu shunwene chenre sigwan tenzin gyatsoi shape site badu tenju chi jonu iye nalama shotu hawa tare tsembara sopa lozan gewe de ton le pausho shasun geryo lama soa de Tupsu chanjin jangun gewe Tenzin kyong pewe kunzu do potse Choksum kuwele mun to do Padok so do je gundu japten show Om tare tu re so ha 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 Om tare tu re so ha.
Oh yeah, thank you. Good night and thank you for coming. Oh, yeah.